Hey everyone, hope you're doing well and staying safe. For the final project of the year, for the story of myself, I decided to create a project that can capture, that hopefully will accurately and efficiently capture the way, um, the way sports have changed within my life and how sports have changed me. And the project will include the first 18 years of my life, as I've been playing sports since I was born. So just so that I don't waste any more time, let's dive right into it. Okay, so the three artifacts I chose, I purposely chose because I think that they will help depict the story of how sports have changed in my life and how sports have changed me in a chronological order. And with that being said, I chose to use a football as my first artifact. So in this movie, it won't really be a football, but it will be pictures of me playing football. Because I think that football was the main sport I played during the former half of my life, and I will try to explain how the sport has contributed to my journey and path towards enlightenment, knowledge, and self. I started playing football around the ages 7 and 8, and although I had been watching highlights my whole life, this is my grandpa pictured here in the above photo. He played football in the NFL in the '60s, and I think that's the real reason I began to get involved with the sport. While doing the project, I stumbled upon an article about an experiment that Emory University conducted, and basically they came to the conclusion that kids who were more inept and understanding of their family history had better were better off in terms of self confidence and facing challenges and adversity. And I think this holds true, although it sounds far fetched. Me wanting to get into football because of my grandpa really helped me acquire some of those attributes. Now, this might sound cliche, but it holds true in this case. Football was really one of the major and first things to introduce me to familial connections outside of my immediate and extended family, and characteristics of patience and understanding, and a brotherhood, and making the effort to learn and understand and connect with other individuals. So, as most of you know, nothing in life, no matter how good or how bad, is permanent. So, I guess you could say about during halftime of my life, my family was involved in a distracted driving accident, and that accident changed the dynamic of our family and affected how we lived our lives on a physical, social, and emotional level. So every aspect of my life, or most aspects, and certainly every tough decision I've had to make and hardship I've had to endure, is credited to the single avoidable incident, and those consequences are everlasting. Something I have to figure out how to maneuver around. However, despite the negative consequences of the accident, there have been a tremendous amount of good things, and amazing open doors and individuals that I've been fortunate and privileged enough to meet, and opportunities that otherwise I never would have encountered. Um, and I think that attitude, that ability to look at the glass as half full, and the good side of things, the more positive side of things, I can credit to sports. That's my foundation, and I sort of developed that. In my opinion, I developed that characteristic at a young age. And although it was further exacerbated at the time of the accident, I think I learned it early on in sports. Now, the main thing about the accident, the main aspect of my life, I think that it changed other than my health, is the way I would play sports or just physical activity in that regard. So now I will transition into how sports looked after and what I further took away from sports after. Shortly after the accident, after I was cleared for physical contact, I was introduced to wheelchair basketball. And wheelchair basketball has been one of the most instrumental and most powerful things I've done in my lifetime. not only has it um, opened so many doors and opportunities that I otherwise never would have been fortunate enough to experience, but in my opinion, and most importantly, I think it's introduced me to some of the most inspiring individuals and allowed me to create an extremely um, fortunate and opportunistic network that I'm extremely grateful for. So, with that being said, I wrote an ode to wheelchair basketball that I'm a little nervous about reading to you guys, but I'm going to anyway, so here it goes. An ode to basketball. Basketball visited me when I was little, no older than 8 years old when she initially said hi. I did not like her back then. She was beyond my skill and interest. Little did I know that the problem was not her, it was me. Then something happened. I got in an accident. Basketball decided to pay me another visit. However, this time she was different, more adapted, more able to conform to my needs. Very understanding, but I would learn that understanding was not a new trait for her. She was always understanding. She was always present too, just waiting for the right time when she knew that I was ready to learn and accept. Basketball has taught me patience. She has taught me perseverance, how to be humble, how to accept, have time management, work ethic, love, persistence, grit, strength, and how to carry through on a promise long after the emotion in which the promise was made is gone. If she, or whoever or whatever it is, will stick with you through the ups and downs and figure your stuff out with you, you know she's worth keeping, worth clinging on to. Now she is a part of my life. You could say we are in a relationship, and a healthy one that requires both of us to play our part. When I practice with her, she rewards me. She asks her gods to make me better, and if I don't, she uses it as a teaching opportunity. This helps me learn and grow not only as a player, but an individual. You see, she is wise. She understands that if she is not helping me grow as a person on and off the court, then she is not doing her job. I find my I find myself thinking about her all the time, regardless of what I'm doing, and she makes me happy, relaxed, more content with who I am and my circumstances, not my so-called setbacks. The moral of my ode is this: when you add all of these things together, the natural mutual feeling of acceptance and care with the desire to do well and make choices not only for the benefit of yourself but for all included, you know you have found love. Something worth keeping. You see, it is not just a feeling and it is not just a choice. One will not exist in the absence of the other.